Go live. Going live. You're live. It says I'm live. Where? Oh, hang on. I'm moving about all over the place here. Hello? We're live. Is it working? Can you hear me? I don't know about this. I've got a bit of lag here. Oh dear. Hang on, let me try this. If I put that there, I think, yes. I'm just slightly behind on that, so I'm going to get confused here. I've got no viewers at the moment. Oh. Well, what to do? This room looks a bit of a mess. The old wallpaper's a bit... Oh, have you got a stick on? Oh, lovely jubbly. Well, I think we're live. It's lagging a bit behind. Quite a bit behind, actually. What are you doing, Tina?
I'm just finishing your copper.
Can you get your iPad on in a minute and see if it's...
I've got it here.
Alright.
What do I need to do?
Just go onto YouTube and go and look for my name. I'm a bit of a novice at this. Lots of ins and outs.
Ben Elliott.
Ben Elliott, that'd be the one. Does it say live streaming?
No.
Oh, well, it says I'm going live.
You might need to do something, I don't know. It's just playing your last video.
Oh, what was done?
Press the button.
Oh, it's all a bit weird, isn't it?
And do you have to put in a search for people that are live streaming? Or...
Should do.
It's like in community posts. It just comes up with posts are coming.
I'll give you that.
Try your iPad.
Oh,
No, you got it.
I wonder if it's because we're on the same IP address.
That's what I was wondering.
Shouldn't be. Because say you're a different account to me. Oh dear, what's going on? What's going on? It won't be trending. Oh, dearie me. What's going on? I do not know. Oh, I ain't done something stupid like got it set for bloody private or something. public.
Are you still supposed to be playing?
I think that should be now.
Oh no. Watch now, Ben had it live stream.
Yeah. Oh, that's all right. We're only 6 minutes late. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, 4 viewers. Well, I think we've finally got it sorted. Has it got audio?
Well, it might do if I turn my audio up.
Okay.
Yeah, but you've just said you're only 6 minutes late.
It's a little bit lagging.
Yeah.
So, got the camera set up. I've got the sound going through the mixing disc. I think the audio's coming through, according to Tina. Oh, man alive, this is probably quite straightforward. Hello, Tina Forster. Yeah, the comments are working. Yeah, we're all set up. Oh. Don't take the mick out of my wallpaper, or the lack of it. This room is a work in progress. Got the main things set up, we've got the computer in, we've got the telly in, got all the gadgets and stuff, just we need to decorate. On the wall up here, somebody wrote on the wall before they actually wallpapered this, in 1986, it has got a date. It says that the day they put this wallpaper on, it was snowing. Obviously, that's all in French. So, I'm not sure how much of a lag is on this, so I'm just going to pay attention to what I'm doing on the screen, and I can try and keep up the comments, if there's going to be any, of course. Let's have a sip of this. It might be a bit warm yet. Hi, Tony Hollyoak. He said hi to you as well, Tina.
I've just seen it.
All right. Come in and give us a wave. Here comes the Hobbit.
Sorry. Showing my true height there.
Yeah, that's still short. Oh dear. So, this is our first live stream. Don't know what to talk about. So if you've got any questions, whack them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. This week has been pretty rubbish. The weather has been pants, so we've not got a lot done. We did get out. Went out in the car. When did I break the flower mower? Was that last week? Sunday. Yeah, we was out with a car, the old Range Rover, cutting the grass, and I went to pull the flower mower back up. If you've been watching our videos, you'll notice that the flower mower is a load of rubbish. And I was parking it up, unhooked it, and I just reversed the car around, and I thought, Tina did say that it was leaking a bit of petrol at the top, but engine oil everywhere. Whoops-a-daisy. It is the biggest pile of what's name going. Oh look, Ben's garage mug. So, I was looking at it thinking, well, it's a crappy Chinese engine. I'll get a gearbox, fabricate the gearbox, and run it off the tractor. Trouble is, it's 280 kilos, and the tractor's not the strongest or biggest. It's only 16 horsepower. So I think the probably the best option is to look for. I've been looking at these Lifan engines. I don't know if they're any good. I've heard some good reports about them. Any plans to start with the chili business again? Hey? Aha! Yes. Obviously, we've still got renovations on the house to do. Hey? We're going to get a polytunnel. I'm going to probably start the seeds off. I was going to say we're starting in February, but we're in February now. Oh, yeah. Oh, where's January gone? We've only just had Christmas. Anyway, yeah, we're going to look at getting a polytunnel. We was looking at greenhouses, polytunnels, but we're going to have to get one shipped in from the UK because they're so expensive in France. And I'll say in the other room, I'm going to get my grow lights all set up with a heat mat and start the seedlings growing. Not going to do too many chilies this year because we've still got absolutely loads from last time. Ah, lovely jubbly. Nice cup of tea. So yeah, that's the plan for the chilies. I'll try some different ones this year. I'm not sure. I think they're still in the glove box of the car, aren't they? Yeah, I've got some different ones to try this year. Last year, I don't know if it's because I wasn't very well for quite a bit of the summer, but we've not been eating the chilies that we were eating the year before, and our level of tolerance has dropped somewhat. And yeah, I made some more jerky today, and that's a bit spicy. And I did some grilled chicken because I'm trying to keep off the bread. And yeah, we put some chilies in that. It was quite spicy. And yeah, so we've had a bit of a year off with chilies and vegetable growing and stuff. So this year we're going to get back on it. We've actually dug up a vegetable plot. We do vegetable gardening with the digger. All I did, I just scooped some grass off it and dug it over and that. And we've planted some elephant garlic, which I think started coming up because you're supposed to get it in the ground so you can have some, because they like the frost. And yeah, so I've got sidetracked. What was I talking about? Yeah, so this elephant garlic's in the ground. I think they've started sprouting. It might be a weed, but it could be the garlic. We'll keep our eyes out on that one. But the plan is we'll dig out some more beds with the digger. Yeah. Oh, blimey. Ah, lovely cup of char. I was going to say something, but I can't think what it was. Was the audio coming through all right, Tina?
It's coming through. There just is a delay.
Yeah, but can you hear it all right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it don't matter.
No, I'll just turn it off and you can hear what I can hear.
Well, as long as it's clear. Is it clear? Ah, it's fine.
It's fine, isn't it?
It's fine. You might be able to hear some humming noise in the background. This live streaming, don't know if you use a lot of CPU on the computer and the old temperature got a bit warm. So I've cranked up the fan on it and yeah, it's come back down again now. So I think we should be alright. We're not going to be cooking the computer. I don't need to be buying another computer just yet. Thank you very much. Are you frustrated that the videos are... I was the other day when I did some cooking videos and they're getting hardly any views. I always said to Tina, I'm going to do the videos because I enjoy doing them. I enjoy filming them. I enjoy editing. If the weather's rubbish and I can't get outside, then I do cooking and stuff because we both enjoy cooking. And so I thought I'll just do some videos, but the cooking ones aren't getting a lot of love. But that last one I did with the beef jerky, I thought it got like 30 views overnight, whereas like the Range Rover, I put out Range Rover one the other day and it's nearly 600 views already. And I thought, oh, waste of bloody time. But then someone commented saying that, oh, I really like your variety of videos. And it's like, oh, well, okay then. But yeah, the Range Rover videos and the Panda. The Panda got some love. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to do a bit more with the Range Rovers and stuff, but I'm always going to be doing videos of stuff around the place, vegetable gardening, growing the chilies. Might do some music videos, who knows. But I think my core sort of audience is the Range Rovers and stuff. We're still... Actually, this week is the weather's supposed to be quite nice, so we're planning to get out and start the garage so we can get the floor concreted. I want to get the floor concreted because I want to get the Audi in, because the Audi, that's been sat there for nearly a year, Tina. Yeah, the Audi's been sat for nearly a year. Grass is growing up around it, so I want to. Once the garage floor's concrete, I want to get the Audi in there, get it jacked up, sort the turbo out, replace. I think the intercooler hose has exploded because when I was driving it, it's the fault was turbo overboosting, which it could possibly be the variable vanes in the turbo, and I was driving my cousin round about end of February last year. And the light kept coming on, going off, kept going on, and then all of a sudden, bang! And he thought we'd had a blowout. I managed to nurse it home, and it was black smoke coming out the back light. It was like night time. People behind me was putting their headlights on. So we're going to get that in the garage when it's done. And yeah, get that fixed and sold, hopefully. Well, I'm glad the old Range Rover videos are helpful. I don't know everything about Range Rovers, but like this fault with the lights that I've got at the minute, the weather has been so bad that I've not been able to get out there. Hi, James Gibb. The weather's been so bad, I've not been able to get outside and disconnect the battery to see if that's what the problem is. I have since updated the iCar soft because when you go into the settings manually, it had left-hand xenon headlight, right-hand xenon headlight, as you could probably hear if you watch the video, and it wouldn't connect with them. Whether that's something to do with, well, I don't know, whether it was, I've updated it, it's the new version firmware on it now, so I'm going to disconnect the battery first on the old Range Rover, and put the battery back on, see if that fixes it. If not, I'll plug the diagnostic socket back in and see what happens from there. But yeah, so a lot of things on the old Range Rover are quite simple, but I don't suppose it helps sticking 24 volts into it. It didn't like that very much. You're right there, Ludo. Ludo. Who's that? Oh, you're on the telly, mate. Yeah, so there's a lot of competition out there for YouTube and stuff. It's just finding a bit of a niche and grow your audience slowly, I suppose, rather than nothing happens overnight. So we're up to about 2,500 subscribers now. But having said that, I think about 89% of our watch time is by people that aren't subscribed. So there you go. We've got all these subscribers and only 11% are actually watching the videos. But that's not a problem. It gets there. It'll get there slowly and surely. Perhaps we should feature Ludo a bit more often. Ludo. Hello, mate. Oh. Star of the show. Oh. Good boy. Don't know where the other one is. She's probably flat out on the bed. Yeah, so I'm going to do some. Hopefully, we get once the garage is sorted, we can. And we've done the Audi and got that fixed and out of the way. We've got some videos coming up with a Panda. Panda 4x4. Tina's pride and joy. Oh God, can you hear her? It can pick you up, you know. Yeah. Yeah, we've got to give it a full service. Cam belt and water pump. Nice, easy job. All the bits turned up the other day. I took the cam belt out of the box, and it's about that big. And piece of cake job, that one. Yeah, we're going to give it full service, plugs, leads, distributor cap, and all that lot. 2-post lift. We're going to get the garage floor concreted first, and then we're going to see what room we've got in there. Because if I can, obviously we've got a sliding door, which is over half of it. If I can get the Range Rover straight in, and there's going to be plenty of room for a lift, and it will go up in that bit, then we'll get one ordered. If it's got to go the other way around, we're going to have to knock a door in in the end wall, which we'll have to see about that. But it's all possible. I need something, because obviously we've got to take the gearbox out of the TD6, and I don't want to be doing that on the floor. Thank you very much. I've had enough of that. I think the last clutch I did was on my own transit van, which was an easy enough job, but scratching around on a gravel driveway is not fun. So a 2-post lift will be very, very nice. How's the drumming going? Drumming, it's not bad actually. What do you mean, huh? Oh yeah. Oh, I keep getting it in the neck with these drums because I plug it into my bass amplifier over here. I got that so you could plug earphones into it. I've got my earphones on now. But yeah, I'm getting there. It's just I had a bit of a job with my legs. This leg's all right. I can do the old bass drum, piece of cake. But when I'm doing that leg, I felt whether it's because I've lost a bit of balance being in the wheelchair. When I get sat on the drum seat, doing 2 legs, we'll get there. It's all practice, and it's probably good exercise as well for my legs. It's just doing different things with that leg and that leg. But I can manage to drive the digger all right, and that's doing different things with your hands and your feet. So we'll see. Been doing a bit of music today actually, messing about with the old keyboard. I've had the bass out as well. So this week coming, the weather forecast is supposed to be rather nice. We'll take this opportunity to get a few jobs done. And there'll be a few videos this week, hopefully. Obviously not all released this coming week, but we'll be making them. I'll give you a little teaser. I can do a bit of a comparison video with the Range Rover and the Panda. You what?
Piece of cake.
What do you mean piece of cake?
Walk in the park, put your hands there.
What, the Panda?
Yep.
She thinks the Panda will beat the Range Rover. I don't know about that. Yeah, so do I miss England? Not a jot. No, I don't think I do miss England. Do you miss England, Tina? No. The last time I went back was in 2015. We went back and bought a Arthur Williams trailer and a John Deere lawnmower. And we was there for a week, and to be honest, I couldn't wait to get back. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's too busy. When you get off the boat at Dover, it's like wacky races coming up that hill on the motorway, and there's people cutting you up. And I know in France they do drive like bloody idiots. Hang on a minute. Oh, pardon me. Oh, Tina must have put some gas in that tea. Yeah, so no, I don't think we do. I don't miss England really. When we do go back, it's no. Once you've had your sausage rolls and your pork pie, you want to come back again. Fish and chips. There's a lot of people over here who do fish and chips, but they're rubbish. Nothing like English fish and chips. I mean, they're English people over here making fish and chips, but nothing like. Chips are rubbish. The batter's rubbish on the fish. So yeah, I'd say I probably miss that about England. But when I went back to the UK in 2013, we was doing a tour with a band that I was playing in, and we were staying in this block of flats. And in France, you say hello to everybody. You walk into a shop. If you walk into the post office in France, if you're stood in the queue, someone will walk in and they'll say, "Oh, bonjour, madame and monsieur," to everybody. And bonjour, bonjour. Anyway, we were staying in this block of flats, and I just went down because I was going out to the minibus to get something, and his woman stood outside having a fag, and as I walked out the door, I said, "Morning," and she looked at me and ran indoors. I thought, oh, how bizarre. And when we sort of experience that a little bit when we go back. People don't talk to each other anymore like they used to, I don't know why. There you go. The Panda is a good match for the Range Rover. You what? There's pros and cons for both. They've both got open diffs. But the Range Rover, the TD6 has got traction control. So if one wheel starts spinning, the brakes grab hold of that wheel, sends the power to the other wheel. Panda hasn't got that, but the Panda is lightweight. So Range Rover 2.7 tonne, Panda probably about 600 kilos. So the Panda's got that going for it. I know they are like mountain goats. Hang on a minute. Yeah. We've got the off-road course around the field. I've got to modify it a little bit because the Range Rover got stuck in one of the holes, and the Panda will just disappear in that one. So I don't know. We'll have to skip that one on this little video. We're going to do a Panda versus Range Rover, and Tina thinks it's going to be a walk in the park for the Panda. We'll see.
Oh, you're right. It's the operator.
Oh yeah, the car will be fine. It's the operator because I ain't driving it. She took me around the field in it. If you saw the video, oh my god. I've never been in such a bad ride in all my life. Unbelievable. Hello, from a wet Lancashire, Darren Smith. So as for the main beam light, it's the light control module. I've got a feeling it's going to be that, but I'm going to try disconnecting the battery first, and then we'll see how it goes after that. It could be a coincidence, this fault on the headlights. It might be nothing to do with whacking 24 volts in it. But I know how strange these Range Rover electrics are, so I'm going to have to be So the moral of the story, don't stick 24 volts into your battery when it's only 12 volts. Yeah, you what? Yeah. Anyway, that was probably my fault when I was explaining the video. Can't blame Tina for that because I told her to turn it up. She didn't know what she was doing. But yeah, but we have since bought a new charger. I'm going to do a video on that, and yeah. I mean, the old Range Rover's been. It's been what? What was I going to say? Oh, brain fart. Oh yeah, no, we went out to it the other day and it started first time. And a little drive around the garden. Since we had to jump start it the other day and charge it up, I've done 5 miles in the field, which I was cutting the grass with it, so that probably explains a lot of those miles. But yeah, it's still working fine. I mean, it changes gear and everything. If the TD6 are as bad as the TDV8, it would be a module. Yeah, could be. I'll look into that. Somebody did send me what part number it was. But it's easy enough to get to. When I was doing some research online, it said, what did it say? It says sometimes the light module goes damp, gets damp in it. But obviously this car sits outside quite a lot, so hang on. Yeah, it sits outside, so it gets a bit damp in there. I'm from Kazakhstan. I'm watching you since you've got less than 1,000 subs. Since I've got less, or you've got less. Sorry for my English, I often make mistakes. I want to wish you good health to you as well. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry. Hey? Gani. Loads of issues after a bulb failed. Yeah, so, yeah, it looks like it could be the module. But we're going to try disconnecting the battery first. See if that resets it. If not, light module. Get well soon. Well, I hope I'll get well soon. Been in a wheelchair for 4 years, but, you know. But having said that, we are getting some progress. Physio comes out, he was doing twice a week. He's coming out once a week now. He had a break over Christmas, and then he come back for 1 week, and then he had a week off because, well, the week he came back, he was holding his arm, and I said, "You need to go see a physiotherapist," and he laughed. But anyway, the next week he cancelled, and I think he came back the week after. And last week he was here. He did say that from the first time he'd actually visited, legs have definitely got a lot stronger, and I've just got to keep up with exercising and bits and pieces on my own now. And well, he still comes out once a week, but yeah, we'll get there. The barn or the garage in next to the house, not the garage up there where we're got to have the workshop, but the garage, sort of like the barn next to on the side of the house here. We're going to have that concreted, and I'm going to get the multi-gym all set up. So we've got all the gear. No idea. Oi! Don't need none of your back chat. Yeah, so we'll get the gym set up outside and get pumping some iron. Woohoo! So what? Actually, I've not done it recently because I didn't open the window because the weather's been so bad. Tina was out walking the dogs around the field, and I thought I'll open the window and shout out at her. And I managed to open the window and stand up at the window. I've had to pull myself up on the windowsill, but I actually managed to lock my legs and stand up there. Obviously, there was something to stop me falling over because, well, don't want to be on my arse, do I? And I did that, and I thought, well, that was it. If you sit there, it's like everything in a wheelchair. If you're sitting there and you think, how am I going to get into there, or how am I going to do that? You analyse it too much. Like when we got the TD6, I found that quite easy to get into because it's right hand drive, that one. I grab hold of the seat, push up on grab hold of the handle, push up, and I'm in. When we got the TD V8, the steering wheel's on the other side, being a French car, I was really struggling to get in because I was sort of sitting there thinking about how I'm going to do it because it was the other way around. Whether this arm wasn't as strong as this arm for pushing up or what, I don't know. But if I don't think about things and I just do it, it seems to happen straight away. So I was, for standing up at the window, I was sort of sat there thinking, how am I going to do this? Anyway, I got myself stood up and I said to Tina, I said, oh, it might have been a fluke. I said, I don't know how I'm going to get myself back down anyway. I let myself down and I thought, well, I'll try doing it again. Put straight up. Wow, that was easy enough. So things like that, it gives you a bit of a morale boost. And, you know, you just do things. You just can't walk and run yet. I do stand up on the standing frame in the other room. Not today, Sunday, day off. And a lion. And eggs for breakfast. We know how to live on a Sunday, don't we? I only had one egg today. Tina burst the other one. Well, you did. I didn't burst it, did I? Eh? Yeah, only boiled eggs. All very nice. Very nice. Why did I move to France? Well, my parents moved to France in 2003, was it? 2003. Mum and Dad moved to France. They lived over in Carrez, 30 acres of wild woodland. So I think we came out for a holiday, and I thought, oh, this is the life. This is the life for me. But anyway, it wasn't to be. So I stayed in the UK. I was in a pretty rotten relationship. Well, married. So finally split up with her, and then that was the clean break I needed. So I loaded all my possessions. I had a Range Rover Classic at the time. I had an Army Sankey trailer, and yeah, I had that loaded up as well. Motorbike, all my tools, stuff strapped on the roof, my dog in the boot. The dog had plenty of room. I had that much room sitting in the driving seat. And yeah, I just said, right, that's it. Off to France we go. I went on the Sunday. I took my car in for an MOT. You know, it's the annual yearly vehicle inspection for all of you that aren't in the UK. And by the Wednesday, I was at Mum and Dad's. Yeah, met Tina online, and I think I'd have got less for murder.
No, I won't.
Ah. Yeah, there's a bit of a story when I came to France. I was driving around the Paris Ring Road, minding my own business, keeping to the speed limit. It was quite a wait. The car was loaded up to the ceiling. Trailer was loading up as high as the car. I'm going around the Paris peripherique, and I see this car come up from the slip road on my right hand side, and it was a police car. It wasn't a gendarme, it was a police nationale, and he had a van behind him, and he saw me, looked over his shoulder and I had a look at my number plate. Obviously saw it was a UK number plate, and pointed for me to follow him. I thought, oh bloody hell! So I followed him. We came off the ring road, driving around all these little side roads in Paris, and come around this corner, and underneath the bridge, there's like a big flyover thing, and underneath it was a weighbridge all set up with a little porter cabin. And I thought, sod it. The trailer wasn't braked because the master cylinder was missing, and I thought, how am I going to get out of this one? I thought, well, I can't exactly phone my dad to come and get a load of stuff out of the car because that was another 300 miles south of Paris. Anyway, they get me on the weighbridge, front axle first, then pulled on, and then pulled off so that the trailer was on it. And old mate come out of the porter cabin scratching his head, and he said, "Oh, well, there's no information on the computer for this Range Rover." So you've got some paperwork. So I've got the logbook out. Of course, being a Land Rover, the car, if it was a Defender, being a commercial or classed as commercial, it'd have axle weights on it. Nothing like that on the Range Rover. So they're like, oh, no, I've got no information. They're looking underneath the trailer, seeing there was a plate on the side of the trailer, but it was an ex-army trailer and it was classed as a 3/4 ton. But I think that's what they could carry in it, I believe, because military are a bit different to everything else. And he wanted to open the door to look for. He nearly opened the door and all my stuff nearly fell out. So I thought, whoa! I said, what are you looking for? And he went, VIN plate. So it's under the bonnet. So of course, opens the bonnet. There's the chassis plate. No axle weights on it. And he's going, ooh la la. And I said, well, what do you need to know? He said, oh, the weights. I said, oh, that's easy. I said, it's a Range Rover. I said, Range Rover, 2 ton. I said, the Range Rover can tow 3.5 ton. Ensemble, 5.5 ton. He was like, he looked at me, he went, oh. And he said, go on, off you go. So that was my little foray into Paris. So he actually stopped the traffic so I could do a U-turn and get back out onto the periphery and make my merry way south, which I drove very carefully because my front diff was making a bit of a noise. The front diff, in the end, exploded into 1,000 pieces, but we was using the Range Rover to tow out tree stumps. Not really what they're designed for, but it had a bit more go and a bit more weight than the tractor, and it had 4-wheel drive. Obviously, the tractor didn't. Every time you tried doing it with the tractor, it just used to pop the front wheels in the air. So yes, we've had Range Rovers quite a while. We've had classic petrol, classic diesel, P38, TD6, TDV8, and we got. Yeah, my dad had a Range. I bought my dad a Range Rover as well, and that was quite a nice one when I got it for him. It was old man Emu 2-inch lift all the way round, big sill protector things, front winch bumper, heavy duty rear bumper. It had a 200 TDI. It did originally have a 2.4 VM diesel in it, which was bloody awful, especially with the head gaskets on them, because there's 4 separate cylinder heads on them things. And yeah, the 200 TDI with a upgraded intercooler, and the pump had been opened up, and it did go. It was quite a nippy thing, but yeah, that bit the dust in the end. I think the turbo might have gone on that, and he sold it to a French bloke. I sold mine to a French bloke. I think he wanted it for the suspension, my one, because I had that jacked up. But yeah, the P38 was alright. Tina didn't like that one at all. Did you?
No.
That's the one you hated, wasn't it? She had to drive it home from work one day because I got sick in my eye. And I thought, oh, I can't see where I'm going. So, yeah, she drove it home under protest. That one actually packed up on the way home from a job one day. I was towing the wood chipper home, and overheated, and when the temperature gets up on them, it just shuts down. There's no, I don't know whether it must be a safety feature on it or something. I had the 2.5 BMW engine in that, automatic. I had some bottles of water in the car, so I managed to top it back up and got about half a mile up the road, and it did it again. And then I let it cool down, and I got all the way through Overtare, which is a bit of a town on a main road, and out the other side. And that was it. It just stopped. So I had to get recovery. So he come pick me up. Of course, he got the wood chipper on the back. He wouldn't take it back home. They're a bit like that in France. So if you break down, they'll only take it back to a garage. So he took it to the garage, which was a Citroen garage. And I says, "You make sure you lock the chipper up." He said, "Oh, it'll be in a lock compound." Oh, okay. Anyway, a week later, they still hadn't looked at it. So we had to pay to get it home. 200 odd euros to get it back home. We then had to pay for storage for the chipper. And then I decided that it was beyond economical repair because the radiator was shot. I was going to do the water pump, radiator, and then once I'd done that, we didn't even know if the head gasket was any good. And so I sold that on. Also, the day that broke down, I phoned Tina up to come pick me up, and she crashed the car on the way. Just one of them things. Yeah. I don't know how much we got for that. It was about 750. Yeah. Yeah, French bloke had it. And then we went through a whole host of dodgy cars. We was a bit hard up, weren't we, at one point? Yes. Going through some, not hard times, but just money wasn't coming in, and we didn't have the money to spend on cars, so I bought a cheap car. €400 for a Ford Galaxy diesel. Went there to pick it up. The car was already running. Okay. Drove it home and drove home fine. Went to go out in it the next day. That night we went to go out in it and it wouldn't change out of first gear. So I phoned him up the next day. I says, "This car you sold me," and he was all apologetic. And he took the car back and gave me my money back. So he knew there was a fault. Once the car got warm, it changed gear. I thought, well, I'm not messing around with that. No, £400 car. So we bought another car off someone else. It was a Ford Scorpio. 2 litre? 2.3? I'm not sure. Anyway, we had that for a week. And on the Ford Scorpio 4-cylinder engine, the thermostat housing is in the plastic inlet manifold. That exploded. And they wanted £600 for €600 for a inlet manifold. We didn't pay that for the car, so luckily they gave us most of our money back. Then we bought another car. No, we didn't. We came back to the UK in Mum and Dad's car. We borrowed their car for a fortnight. Then when we get back to France, we bought another car. A Volvo. Was that a V70? Yeah, Volvo V70. It was 2.5 turbo diesel. Fantastic car. It had a bit of a dent down one side. And really good on diesel. We're getting nearly 1,200 kilometres to a tank full of diesel. Once it started, I think the pump timing was out or something, and I wasn't going to mess about with it because we could start it with a bit of squirt. Let me read some of these comments. French people are clearly not very good at inspecting cars. Well, whether he wanted it for bits or he was just going to fix it, because I've got 4 brand new. Well, they weren't brand new. They were 4 decent all-terrain tyres on it. I let it go with. I bought 4 brand new airbags for it. They weren't faulty, but they were just showing signs of cracking, and I was going to change them and never got round to it. So I let him have those. That was the tyres, and the airbags were probably worth what he paid for the car. But other than that, I did some other bits on it as well, and there was probably other load of parts in the boot. But yeah, he sort of looked at it, and yeah, that'll do. But yeah, I've sold some weird stuff to French people. I had a KTM Supermoto LC4 640 Supermoto. It was on English plates, and I'd got a certificate of conformity from KTM, but I just hadn't got around to registering it. So I put it up for sale. No interest whatsoever. Oh, okay. Because there's a website in France which is it's like eBay. It's an advert website called Le Bon Coin, which is the good coin. And you put an advert on there, and I think it lasts for 3 months. But obviously, when you put it on, it starts at the top, and then as the days go by, new adverts come and they go at the top, so you work your way down. No interest whatsoever. So I relisted it, and I've got a message. Bloke said, "See you, Ben. Yeah, thanks for coming along, Ganny, if that's how you pronounce it." What was I saying? Yeah, he said to it, he said, "If you're gonna strip it for parts, I'll have the exhaust pipe off you." And I thought, okay. So I said, "How much do you want to give me for the exhaust pipe?" And he said, €500 if you can deliver it. And it was only half hour up the road. So €500 for the exhaust pipe. What am I going to do with the rest of it? So I took a picture of the bike, put it on there, and I forgot what I was saying now. I've just had a brain fart. Yeah, put a picture of the bike on for parts. Let us know what you want. Anyway, this bloke had the exhaust pipe, 500. It was a Akrapovic, however you want to say it, full titanium system. So there was that. I've got rid of that. So I've got a bike with a perfectly good engine, no exhaust pipe. So we were selling bits and pieces off of it, and I thought, well, I'll strip it down. So the rear shock went, hand guards, silly things like that. And then a bloke said, he said, "Can I buy the engine?" I said, "Okay, yeah, no problem. Can you post it?" I thought, how the hell am I going to post an engine? Because the limit at the post office is 30 kilos, and the engine was 42 kilos. So I said, I can't post it. I said, if you want to arrange a courier, get cleared funds, and he said, how about I'll give you €300 to drive it down to Saint-Tropez. So 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, we loaded the car up, headed down to Saint-Tropez, met this bloke in the supermarket car park, followed him back to his house. He gave us some money, gave him the engine, turned around and drove back home again. Couldn't get out of that place quick enough. It was awful. Oh, yeah, and he actually said, because we took the dog with us, he said, you can take your dog down onto the beach, but go around to that one there. He says, because where all the yachts are parked, he said, it stinks, it's horrible. He said, they pump all sorts of rubbish out into the sea. So, yeah, that was our little thing to Saint-Tropez. And then I managed to sell the frame with all the paperwork, obviously. That was a new frame. It was my brother's old bike, and I think he had it for about a week. And I was working at Formula One auto centres in Peterborough, and my brother pulled up outside. I looked at him and I thought, that don't look quite right. What's going on there? And he was sort of like sitting on it, and his handlebars was like this, in a straight head position. I said, what's going on here? He said, just come off. I went, okay. He come around the corner. On his way to take it back to the bike shop where he got it from, because they sold it to him with a dodgy tyre. He was on his way back to get a new tyre fitted, and he lost the arse end on a corner and put the bike underneath a transit van. So I rebuilt it for him he got a brand new frame, and yeah. Perhaps they think, oh, he's English and a mechanic. It must be a good car. Well, I don't know. I didn't fob him off. I mean, the radiator was out. I've told him it was overheated. He obviously just wanted the car. Yeah, people say they are unreliable. They are clearly just ill-informed. Well, yeah, that's the only breakdown I've ever had, touch wood, in a Range Rover, when it overheated. Well, I had a Classic, the 3.9 to EFI. That was a pain in the neck. I took it to a Land Rover technician. He was ex-Land Rover technician. He set up himself in business, and even he couldn't fix it. He was trying all sorts. We got a new ECU, new airflow meter. He was changing this and changing that, and it was like the week before I was coming to France in it. And I took it somewhere else and said, "Can you check the head gaskets?" Because they used to have like a sniffer tool that you. But I don't think they even looked at the car, to be honest. He said, "No, nothing wrong with it." Oh, okay. Anyway, I was like, right, okay, we're going to go to France. I loaded the motorbike trailer up with all the motorbikes. And we set off. My mum was in the UK working at the time, so she was coming back to France for good. Anyway, used to get up to about 60 mile an hour, and it would jump about. But if you just held it at 65, it would cruise. If you go any faster than that, anyway, I thought, right, we'll get into France because I've got breakdown cover, and then hopefully if we break down, it will take us the rest of the way. Anyway, we stopped at the services, filled up because it was crap on fuel. I filled the tank up at Peterborough, right to the brim, got to Dover, had to fill up again. And that's not even 200 miles. Anyway, got into France, filled up again, and I thought, well, I'll just check the water, bone dry. Oh, there's bloody water going somewhere. So anyway, every time we stopped for fuel, we had to keep topping it up, bleeding it out, messing about. Anyway, we got to Mum and Dad's, and I thought, right, well, I'm going to take the thermostat out and see if that's doing it. So anyway, I took the thermostat out. My dad went out in his car and run out of diesel. Luckily, he'd just got some two-way radios and was messing about with them. He said, "Oh, come and get us off, run out of diesel." Well, okay. So we go and find him. When we get there, all I can smell is antifreeze. And I open the bonnet, and it was all squirting up the back of the thermostat housing. I thought, well, that's pressurising somehow. So I took the cap off the expansion bottle and just left it rest because it's got that silly long thing on it with the float. So it tells you if your coolant level's low. And so I left that sort of dangling in there, and it ran absolutely perfect. Didn't miss a beat. Didn't lose any water. So what we did, we got back to Mum and Dad's house. He got some of this like plexi stuff, like fibreboard, and he got a hole saw, which was exactly the same size as a plumbing. We managed to get a plumbing fitting, which goes on top of the expansion bottle, like an open thing. And this hole saw that he got, drilled a hole down through the middle, and then cut out a round disc with a hole in the middle, and that sat perfectly on the expansion tank. Screwed this plumbing fitting down so that it had a hole, so that any pressure built up could get out. And I drove it like that for 2 years. So I think it was a head gasket, or one of the liners had shifted or something, and yeah, I don't know. What year was it? If we're talking about what year the P38 was, that was a S-Reg. What's that, 98? RS. Yeah, about 98 the P38 was. I think the 3.9 I had, the classic, was a J-Reg, so about 92. The one I came out here in was a 93, 200 TDI. Yeah, the P38 was a 99. The TD6 we've got is a 2002, and the TDV8 is a 2010. So yeah, that's 10 years old this year. But that TDV8 still feels like it's bloody brand new. It drives absolutely spot on. Especially now it's been remapped. Bloody marvellous. Yeah, that was a good job done having that remapped and the EGR valves blocked off and deleted from the ECU. We're getting a lot more miles to the gallon, and you can't hear, it's not louder, but you can hear the engine sort of working a lot easier. It's not restricted or anything like that. I don't know how to explain it really. But when you're going along, before, it was a job to sort of on the throttle keep it at the speed limit. You know, you're either you're dropping slow or you're speeding up. But now, you get up into top gear, you just keep it on the throttle and it stays at 80 kilometres an hour easy, which is the national speed limit in France now. As I keep finding out with these speeding tickets. Bastards. Pardon my French. Yeah, it seems easier to keep it at a steady speed. Whether that's all in your head, I don't know. But even Tina said it feels easier to keep it at a nice, easy speed. But yeah, all good stuff. I don't think there's much more to do on the TDV8 now. We're probably going to give it a service this year once the garage is done and get the, even if I have to get on the concrete floor and do it. We've not done many miles in it. I think it was on 126,000 kilometres. Yes, please. Which is about 70,000 miles. And I don't know, we've only done a couple of thousand kilometres in it. Maybe 3 or 4, I don't know. Something like that. But yeah, I just love driving it. It's bloody marvellous. I'd rather drive that than a bleeding Panda. Blimey. It says somewhere how long I've been on for. Where have I just seen that? Discovery TDV6. I've not actually been in a Discovery TDV6. But at the end of the day, all Land Rovers go. Apart from the new Defender, I'm not quite sure what to make of that yet. Yeah. I did look at Discoveries actually, but I've always liked Range Rovers. So and Tina did say, because cars in France are a lot of money, a hell of a lot more than what you pay in the UK. But I was sort of, let's have a look at different makes and models, and I knew Toyota were good because I've worked at Toyota, and the Land Cruisers were really easy to work on and that. But I was like looking at them and I thought, they don't. You sit in a Toyota and it just feels plasticky. And I was like looking at Mitsubishis, and they were the same because I worked on Mitsubishis as well. Because when I worked for Toyota, I didn't actually work for Toyota. I worked at a garage that was the second Toyota dealer in the UK, I believe, back in the 60s. Collie Weston Garage. Not there anymore. It's a load of houses. So that was a Toyota garage. But just before I started working there, the Toyota dealership, Toyota, just apparently turned around to him and says, "Well, you're not a big enough garage. We're going to Marshall's in Peterborough." So they took on Daihatsu then. So Daihatsu's just Toyota in different clothing, I suppose. And the boss's son was, he had, I think it was called 4 Counties 4x4, which they did all the accessories for all off-roaders, but mainly sort of Japanese stuff. So if somebody came to them and said, "Have you got such and such?" and then they could offer us to fit it as well. So we'd get all sorts in Mitsubishis, Land Cruisers, Hiluxes, and all that kind of thing. And he was also importing Toyotas from Holland, I believe it was. There was UK spec, but he could sell them for up to £2,000 cheaper than the actual Toyota was, but with all the same warranties and everything. So that's why I got to working on Toyotas. But they're not quite Range Rover, are they? You drive a Range Rover, they're regal, got a good view of the road, they feel special. Even if you get in a classic, a nice classic, you get driving in it, they feel special. Obviously the TD-V8 feels special. Even the TD6, although it's a little bit ropey at the minute, it still feels all together, and Japanese stuff, or it might be more reliable, but it's like I always say, when you do research on the internet, you'll always hear people moaning about stuff breaking down. But out of all hundreds of cars that they've sold, there's only a handful that break down, or have got problems, or this, that, and the other, unless it's a recall fault or something. So, I take it with a pinch of salt what a lot of these forums say with regards to breaking down and stuff like that. 3-litre turbo diesel V6. Yeah, so I've never been in one of those. Yeah, Land Cruisers are full of cheap, scratchy plastics, but they are pretty good. We had a couple of the really old Land Cruisers there, and I can't remember what series they were now, but it had like the rounded bonnet, and it was a soft top actually. He had 2 there. I think one was a diesel, one was a 6-cylinder petrol. Thank you, Tina.
You're welcome.
And the soft top Land Cruiser, the 6-cylinder petrol, it got a locker in the back axle. But that would go most places in 2-wheel drive that a lot of 4-wheel drives wouldn't go. They were pretty impressive. But say the older ones, the really old ones, those metal dashes and everything, there was no plastic on them. Obviously the newer ones were I used to do when over in at the old house, some bloke we used to know had a Hilux, and one of our highest viewed video is when Tina changed the cam belt on it. I was going to do it, but I couldn't keep myself. I was going to pull myself up on the bull bar and strap myself to it, but it didn't work. So Tina ended up changing the cam belt on it with me just telling her what to do. But they're just, as you say, all plastic, and that they got. I mean, the Hilux. It was the 3-litre D4D. It was 170 horsepower. It's 2-wheel drive. It's selectable 4-wheel drive. It had plenty of go and everything, but it's just noisy, plasticky. But there you go. But yeah, I still like working because when I worked at Collie Western, we all had our own bays and that. But the one I had the biggest lift and the highest headroom. So all the Land Cruisers and big off 4x4s, I used to get to work on those. And it was, like fitting tow bars. It was so easy. All the bolt holes are all there, and the wires are, it's plug and play. And this was going back years, quite a few years now, when not many manufacturers were doing like this. The plugs were already there. You just pull the cover out and plug it in. But yeah, plastic boxes. Have you been in a Shogun? Yeah, older ones. Don't know about any newer ones. I'm trying to think now. Trouble is, because I used to do it. I used to be MOT tester in the UK, so I used to get in anything. But I'm trying to think now. I think the last time I was MOT testing was probably about 2008. Bloody hell. 12 years ago. Yeah, so there have been plenty of Shoguns. Where one of the bosses at one of the firms I used to work at, he had a V6 Shogun. He had a diesel one before, he gave that to his mother. Hi, Mick Ness. Yeah, I don't really like them that much, Shoguns. But I think we'll stick with Land Rover. And Pandas.
And Pandas.
Oh, God. Set her off now. She's waited how many years?
22 years ago I got one, and I think it was 20 years ago my dad sold it.
So Tina got her first Panda 22 years ago. It was an F-Reg. What was it?
It was a Fiat Panda 900 two-wheel drive. It was a special edition Bella.
Oh yes, it was two-wheel drive. A special edition Bella.
The special bit was it had go faster stripes
Yes,
on the side with a dolphin.
Oh, a dolphin
Yeah.
on the side. Very nice.
Little dolphin. And then when that PX.
And then her dad part exchanged it because it was worth less than the other car they had. Have you sorted the lights out? Not yet. The weather has been rubbish. I actually managed to get out yesterday. I was having trouble with the drone. The last video I did, I don't know, I had some drone footage on it, and it wouldn't altitude hold. It was all over the place. I thought, oh, here we go. So, scratching my head, and oh, see you then, Tina.
Well, see if this is done.
Oh, is it already?
Yeah, that's one night.
Flipping heck. Yeah, so what does Panda rhyme with?
I haven't written that one.
Poo. And then he said, ha ha ha, sorry Tina.
Right, I might just have to come back on for that one.
Oh God. Anyway, yeah, so with the drone it was all over the place. And I thought, I know what's going to happen here. I've updated the firmware and it's the built-in obsolescence. You know, DJI have obviously got a new model coming out and it's going to brick it basically. It'll be bloody useless. But gaffer tape on the lights. I'll just take the bulbs out. No, we'll sort something out with that. Yeah, so yesterday, there's loads of calibration things you can do on the drone. You hold it on the screen and point round all around the screen, and then you can calibrate the IMU or something. You have to turn it on its side, on its end, on its front, on its back. So yesterday, with a break in the rain, I said to Tina, "Can we get out? I want to try the drone." And I took the drone up, and it was perfect. I thought, thank Christ for that. So yeah, we've been unable to get outside due to the weather because all it has done all week is rain. It's a job to stand up at. I can't stand up. It's a job for teens to stand up outside. Dogs are alright, they've got 4-wheel drive. But yeah, it's been absolutely rain, rain, rain. If we have a hosepipe ban this year, I want to know why. I went round in the car yesterday and it half squelchy and making a mess. Well, I'd make more of a mess on the digger, I think. Oh, that's a bit hot. Nice cup of tea. She's got plenty of coats. Yeah, Tina.
Yeah.
Have you got a coat? You can go out and disconnect the battery on the Range Rover.
I'm the one who broke.
Well, we don't know if you broke it.
Cheeky bugger.
Yeah. I think we're hopefully tomorrow it's going to be nice weather so we can at least get outside and get some stuff done. Oh dear. I don't mind being stuck indoors, but there's only so much you can do. So today, we've had a bit of a cooking day today. I've not done any videos. They don't seem to do very well. Yeah, she's got a head torch somewhere. I think she's going out with the dogs now. Yeah, but I've got some more beef jerky on this morning because it went down quite well. So that was marinating overnight, and I put it in the dehydrator this morning, and with all the marinade, I cut some chicken up and stuck the old chicken in the marinade I used for the beef jerky, and I grilled all that up this afternoon. So that's going to go in the fridge for my lunches during the week, keeping off the bread. How's the man cave going? As you can see, it's filling up, but we didn't ought to be filling it up because we need to get the walls sorted out. Obviously the wall behind me, that wall behind me where the telly is, we've got to strip the wallpaper off of that. That wall there has got a crack up it, so we've got to do something, and we're going to board that wall, stud wall, because my computer's going on that wall and I want to hide all the wires. I can't stand wires everywhere. At the minute, it's always a bloody mess. But yeah, I'll show you. Drum kit. It's just a mess everywhere. Oh, bloody hell. Get this put back. Oh, go on, Bennett. Oh. Shabby and rough at the edges. Just a bit. Yeah, this wall, I'm going to stud wall this. The telly's going on this wall. Unit under it. PlayStation, bits and pieces. That wall, where the telly is, that'll have all my turntable and everything. And the amplifier. Some speakers. Got another keyboard over there. Got another keyboard here. Got my bass. And the drum kit. 2 more basses over there. Another telly over there. I had that telly rigged up as a computer, but I was using it for editing on the videos. But as I was going from one to the other, my eyes was going, whoa. Well, I can't be doing that. We'll just stick with the screen on the Mac. Give us a tune if you ever get there. Get over there. I've started recording some stuff. Just messing about, really. Trying the multi-instrumentalist. Obviously, I can play the keys, I can play bass, I can sort of play the drums. PC world. Where in the world? PC world. Guitar. I can play a few chords. There's too many strings on the guitar. Play ukulele. Hang on. Oh, I'm gonna have to move. See if I can remember it. When I'm cleaning windows, that's all you're getting tonight. It's a bit out of tune as well. I ain't gonna mess about with that. And I don't sing. Not when there's a crowd, anyway. Hold it like that, didn't I? Oh, Ben's garage. My old man's a dustman. Where's the dustman's at? He's got gore-blimey trousers. He lives in a council flat. Scratching windows. I can't do that on YouTube because nearly every single George Formby video, copyright strike. Get Tina in to sing. She did actually sing in the band that I was playing in once. She was actually not a bad singer. Where'd you get them? Where'd you get what? If you let me know what you want to get, I can tell you. But yeah, this band, some old giffer, I don't know how old he was, but he was so out of condition that he was a guitarist, he had to sit down in a patio chair at this gig we played. The drummer, the Mugs, I got that one, I had that one done by Vistaprint, I think, but on the Teespring website, I think there's a mug on there. You can get to the Teespring website through my website, which is bensgarage.org. Then there's all kinds of stuff on there. There's a website where the stickers are, and a website where you can get t-shirts and mugs and stuff. But anyway, yeah, the drummer was a bit of a nutcase, really. Well, he wasn't so bad. He was an alcoholic. I don't know if it was a well-known family, but anyway, his brother murdered his mum and ended up in Broadmoor, and he escaped from Broadmoor, went missing for about 6 years, and then they found his remains in a barn somewhere. But anyway, Nobby, the drummer, he wasn't famous, but he was around the famous people back in the 60s. He was playing drums for, what were they called? Oh shit, I can't remember now. It'll come to me in a minute. Anyway, this punk band said to Nobby, "Can you come and play drums with us?" And he says, nah, I don't want to play none of that. Oh, shit. He said, a week later, they was on the telly on the old grey whistle test. So it's, oh, sod it. And then he auditioned. Olivia Newton-John was looking for a drummer, but a drummer that could sing. Nobby couldn't carry a tune in a bucket. So anyway, he got playing with this band. You can check them out on YouTube, called Elton Motello. He said to his mum, must have been before his brother killed his mum then. Yeah, because he said to his mum, we're just off to Belgium to record an album. We'll be 2 weeks. Well, he never went home. He got hooked up with some bird in Belgium, got married, and he'd been on the booze ever since. They did have a hit. It's on YouTube, Elton Motello. I think it's Jet Boy, Jet Girl or something. But if you look at Elton Motello, Nobby's the ginger-headed drummer. He's got 2 bass drums with Vincent Price painted on the front of them. And it was a famous painter that painted it on it for it. I don't think he was famous at the time, but anyway, that's Nobby the drummer. We were playing this gig. Tina was singing. Reeve the guitarist was sat in his deck chair. But the woman who was arranging this said, can you come play? I said, yeah. So anyway, we turned up, we set up, and I went over to her, I said, look, whatever you do, don't let Nobby have any drink, because she was providing us with a meal and wine, as they do in France. I says, whatever you do, don't let Nobby have any drink, because that'll be it. Anyway, it was... Yeah, cool. Thanks for coming. Katie Price. I don't know. Anyway, this gig was over at our old house. That over the road was a church and a big field, and every year they used to have like a fair on the field. The fun fair, and then it was over 3 nights, and they'd have different things on every night. So this particular night, Sharon used to do the food. So we were playing the gig for her. And then the last night they used to let all the fireworks off. So anyway, we're looking for Nobby. We're all sitting down eating. Where's Nobby? Where's Nobby? So we went looking for him. He's only sat on the kids' merry-go-round on a pink elephant, going backwards and forwards as it goes round with a bottle of wine in his hand. He was off his trolley. So the first half of the gig was passable. He said it had a price on guitar. But he couldn't finish the song. I don't know if he thought it was Keith Moon, but he was just going on. I said, Nobby, stop, finish it. Anyway, on the second half, he was absolutely out of his tree. And there's actually, if you look through my playlist, really early on videos, there's how not to play a gig. And Nobby was doing his drums, going around and finishing, and right at the end, he's bang, bang, and he put his arms up, just kept going back and back and back, fell off his chair, smacked his head on the bench behind him. It's all on video. But so that was Tina's foray into live music. She did start singing with another band that I was playing in, but she packed that up because she got a job. Yeah, I wonder what... I can't remember what that band was called now. Yeah, so this live stream has actually gone on for longer than I thought it was going to. It's good that people have been asking questions and stuff, and it gives you a bit of stuff to talk about. But, yeah, you'll have to... I'll put out a community post seeing if it's something that people would like. I mean, I don't mind doing them. I try and release a video every Tuesday and Friday. Release one on Tuesday to go through the week, and then Friday over the weekend. But if this is popular, I'll do a live stream every Sunday night. Do you still do the chili farming? Last year we didn't. We were still renovating the house, getting the garden in order. Then I wasn't very well through most of the summer, which was a bit of a pain. I'm hoping that this year I will be better. Don't know what it was. Doctors didn't know what it was. I had blood tests and stuff. But there you go. So yeah, we're going to. I said earlier on, somebody asked me about chili farming. I said, yeah. I said that I was going to start the seeds off in February. I thought, oh, hang on a minute. It's the 2nd of February today. So yes, we're going to be starting in the other room through there. Get these grow lights set up, heat mats, get the seeds started off, and then we're looking at getting a polytunnel. So that's all plans for this coming spring. We don't want to be planting anything out of the ground yet because February's normally quite a cold month in France. Saying that, we got snow January last year. But we do get a longer growing season. You know, what interested us? Well, I like hot food. Tina likes hot food. We both enjoy. I really enjoy growing them because, obviously start off with nothing, a little seed, and you end up with a plant. If you like, when I did the chili plants in the auto pots at the old house, they were nearly 6 foot tall and absolutely loaded with chilies, and some of them were flipping hot, too hot for me. We didn't even do the chili challenge with some of them. In some of our old videos, we did the chili challenge. And I think we got up to. Did we get up to Scotch bonnets?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to Scotch bonnets, which was about 350,000 Scovilles.
No. We did try the tiniest little bit of Reaper.
Yeah, we didn't have the full one, no, did we?
No,
No,
that was enough for the Reaper.
We did try a Reaper on the old chili challenge, but not a full one. Just cut a bit off it, and that was enough. But the old Reapers, they're quite funny. They call them a creeping Reaper. You bite into them or you eat it if it's got food with Reaper in it, and you think, oh, I can taste chili in it, but it doesn't. And then it starts building up and building up and building up, and by the time it really gets to you. Are they labour intensive? They take a bit of germinating. They need heat for germination, the seeds. So we've got the heat mat and the grow lights because you need plenty of light. A lot of people can do them in the windowsills if they've got plenty of warmth and plenty of sunlight. Once they get to a certain height, quite often I prick out the tops, which, after sort of 2 sets of leaves, I prick the top out, and then the plant sort of bushes out. And then we sort of pot them on, and I use the auto pot system. Well, I've only got 6 auto pots, so 6 of the decent chili plants are grown in auto pot, which is it's just like I don't know if they're 15 or 20 litres, the buckets. They sit on like a tank thing. You've got like a big reservoir which you fill up with water, and you can put your nutrients in it, and that goes out to each pot, and it's got like a little float in it, and it automatically waters the plants. But so that's about as labour intensive as they get. Obviously, when they do get tall, you've got to stake them up because otherwise they'll just bend. The weight of the chilies on them, they'll bend over and break. So obviously you've got to keep them tied up. But yeah, so really, once you've sort of got them all tied, once they've grown and you've got them tied up, they're just keeping them watered and fed. We was using Chili Focus fertiliser, which I don't know if we've still got any of that. Yeah. And they just go wild on that stuff. But there's all sorts of stuff you can get for growing chilies. But yeah, not too labour intensive really, and good result when you do get them. We've grown some which we probably won't grow again. First year I did them, we did what they call a big Jim, which they can grow to 12 inches long, and they're not too hot, but they've got the chili flavour and they've got just a little bit of heat. Now they were really good for. I deep fried some, and I stuffed them with cream cheese and grilled them in the thing. But then the second year we did big Jims and they were rubbish, really leathery and horrible. Do you need male and female ones to pollinate? Don't think you do you?
I don't think so.
No, I think if you just plant one chili seed, it'll grow and get flowers. And having said that, we did have quite a few, and there was a lot of bees and stuff on them, weren't they?
Yeah.
So obviously, if you've got a couple of plants, the bees can do their thing. What are your plans for the TD6? Firstly, get the lights fixed. One of the big jobs we've got to do on it is the gearbox. I don't think it's the gearbox as such because it changes gear perfectly. It's just got this judder, which I think is the torque converter. But if I'm going to have to take the gearbox out to change the torque converter, obviously, I might see about reconditioning the gearbox while it's out. See if I can get some upgraded parts, whether I can get an upgraded torque converter. I mean, I don't mind if it won't make it too harsh, but a stronger one, hopefully. And then basically that's going to be our sort of off-roading thing, because I don't really want to take the TD-V8 off-road too much. It's all right around the field, but they don't do automatic Panda 4x4s. Someone said that he just said sell the TD6 and get another Panda.
Good man.
I ain't getting in that Panda again.
Yes, you will.
Oh dear. Yeah, so we'll get the gearbox sorted in the TD6, and then I think I'm going to have some welding to do on the back sill. Last year or the year, we tried jacking it up on the back driver's side, and the jack went up through the floor. So we've got all that to sort out. Just kit it out basically for off-roading, and so we can go away camping. Remapping the TD6. I'm not sure if the gearbox can take any more power than it's got already. If it was me, I wouldn't. But a lot of people said don't remap the TD-V8, and I just had it done. So it's a bit of a too sensible to drive a Panda, Tina.
What's that?
I'm too sensible to drive a Panda. Yeah, he's got that right. I was a passenger in it, if you saw the video. Oh my god. I think the shock absorbers must have been taken out and they've put blocks of wood in there. Because it was as rough as hell going around the field. Eh?
It was fun.
Fun? I know, she was laughing all the way around. Yeah, so I'm not sure about remapping the TD6. It is a bit underpowered really for what it is, but it is what it is, isn't it? I know the same engine that's in the BMW is putting out a lot more power than what the Range Rover does. But it's got a BMW gearbox, I suppose. Well, I don't know what gearbox is in the BMW. Packed in like sardines. Yeah, we're doing an off-road Panda versus Range Rover. Because we've got the 4x4 track out here. One of the holes we're going to have to miss out because I actually got the Range Rover stuck in it, and I think the Panda will just, no hope. But yeah, I'm going to do a video on that. That'll be quite amusing. And Tina really doesn't like driving off road, but because it's the Panda, she's gonna have a go at driving it off road because that's what it's meant for. Well, it can do it, but I've said to her that my 4x4 driving from now on will be in luxury, where I can sit in nice heated leather seats, automatic, power steering, heat blowing on my feet, wafting along. She can sit in her little tin box Panda, bouncing about. You should do it swapping drivers. I don't know if I'll be able to do the clutch. I'm going to have a go at driving it, see if I can, because my left leg is my weakest leg. Obviously, I can drive an automatic because my right leg's all right, and but I'm going to have a go. Because now the flower motor's packed up, engine oil everywhere. It's a cheap, crappy Chinese engine on that. So I was cutting the grass for that the other day, but I'm going to try and get on the tractor. I managed to get on the gang mower, but that's packed up. Surprise, surprise. So I'm going to try and get on the tractor, and that's obviously clutch. So I'll have a go in the Panda. What tyres would you recommend for the TD6? Ooh. Well, I've got crappy road tyres on it at the minute. We've got Nexons on the front and Gripmasters on the back. But I've got the 20-inch wheels, and for 20-inch wheels, there's nothing really for off-roading. So I'm going to be looking at going down to 18-inch rims. Yeah, tug of war. We'll do a tug of war, Tina.
Oh yeah.
What?
That would be fair.
Of course it'd be fair.
It'd be fun though.
Eh?
It'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, we might do that. All good ideas. Yeah, so back to the tyres. I'm going to possibly look out for 18-inch rims because the choice of off-road tyres, whether it's all-terrain or mud-terrain, is a lot more than what you can get. I mean, even the Range Rover, when they did the G4 Challenge, that had 19-inch wheels, and I can't remember what tyres they had on those. But there's not a lot of options for 19-inch and 20-inch, so I think I'll go to 18-inch and then we'll shop around and see what's good. Other Range Rovers I've had we've had BF Goodrich mud terrains on my dad's Classic. They were fantastic tyres. Felt a little bit funny on the road, not as good as a road tyre. But yeah, tug of war, that'd be funny, wouldn't it? I think I know who would win the tug of war.
Yes.
Well, would the gearbox be able to deal with the tug of war? We'll have to get all our other jobs done first before we break the gearbox. Yeah, I think it'll be alright because unless the torque converter just lets go and gives up, and then I'll sit there and she'll be dragging me across the field. Wouldn't that be embarrassing? Oh dear. I'd never hear the end of that, would I? Yeah, I think we're going to gonna let it dry out a little bit first before we do the old Panda versus Range Rover video. Yeah, it would make very good TV. Oh, excuse me. I don't know. Keeping me up. What time is it? 10:15. Well, we've got a tow rope, but I don't know how strong it is. But with it there, that will be the test to see how strong this tow rope is. Yes, it's supposed to be 5 ton. It doesn't look like it's 5 ton. It looks like it might break. I think it would get you out of a pickle if you was in need of a tow. But yeah. But apparently, pandas are like mountain goats. So they say. They used to say that about the Suzuki. Was it SJ410? Used to have a rhino on the back of it, didn't they, on the spare wheel? Absolutely awful on the road. We used to have one come in the garage when I first left school. It was the van version. They were the Samurai. I think one of the gears was missing. Anyway, you get going up the road in it, and it was awful. 40 mile an hour, 50 mile an hour, that was the most you ever wanted to do in the thing. Struggling to find a roof rack. Do you know of any companies that supply them? I do. Let me see if I can come out of here and it won't upset. Are we still live streaming? I think we are. Right, let me just have a quick look on here. Because I did get in touch with this firm. Where are they? Right, Range Rover L322. It's not cheap. Because I was looking at getting a genuine one. Obviously for our TD6. Can't get one anywhere. Unless you ever found one second hand. So the next best thing I found was this firm called www.vogueexpeditions.com. If you go in there, Vogue Expeditions, shop by vehicle, L322, they do a rhino rack and they do a front runner slimline roof rack. Now, I was looking at the front runner because I thought it looked better than the rhino rack, and I got in touch with him, said, can you get hold of them and do they fit the Range Rover? And he says he was going to check if they don't still do the rails for because on the Range Rover, as you probably know, you pop those little flaps up and you've got the holes in the roof where you can screw your thing. He said if they don't actually do the rails for the Range Rover, you can get universal rails and the front runner roof rack will fit onto that. So that's, as I said, VogueExpeditions.com. Shop by vehicle. Just go into shop by vehicle and L322 and you'll see it there. Oh, he's back. I was assuming his name's Aaron. But he's got a 4.4 litre TDV8 Westminster. So what is the Westminster? Is it optional extras or something? one down from the autobiography. I don't know. I'm a bit out of touch with all these names. I know the HSE, the Vogue SE, autobiography. We've got ours is the Vogue SE. Yeah. The TD6, although it says Vogue on the back, it isn't a Vogue. That's a HSE. Yeah. It's like the Audi. It's got S-Line badges all over it. It's not an S-Line. Having said that, it's got the sports pack suspension on it. But Tina doesn't like that car. It's a different spec model. Oh yeah, we're doing. It's been suggested that we do a tug of war with the Fit Panda and the Range Rover TD6. I think we'll know who come out top on that one. Panda won't win, T, unless my torque converter goes bang. Totally different spec. Very good. Well, our TD-V8 is a funny year. It's a 2010. It's got the TFT dashboard in it and all the bits and pieces. The earlier TD-V8s had Brembo brakes. Our one hasn't, which is a bit of a bummer. But the brakes work, it stops. I was looking at changing them to Brembo calipers because it didn't look like a difficult job, but to be honest, I can't be bothered. The car stops, so yeah, it's a funny year. And on the when we bought it, it was listed as a 3.6 TD-V8. Vogue SE DPF. And I've been under the car. There isn't a DPF on it. It's the original exhaust pipe, so it's not been played about with. But it hasn't got a DPF filter on it, which is quite nice. If you could have any car, what would you buy? Ooh. Well, I don't want a bloody Panda. That's your dream car. I've got my dream car. Well, trouble is because I've driven so many different cars through being a mechanic, MOT tester. You get these high performance sport cars, and because I've had motorbikes for years, they just don't compare them, performance wise. I mean, the last big bike I had that got nicked, I had a CBR 1000RR, which was 180 odd horsepower, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds if you can hang on. You need to spend a serious amount of money on a car to get that sort of performance. So they don't really float my boat, any of these fancy cars. I've driven like Bentleys and stuff like that. Bentley Continental GT with a 6 litre V12 twin turbo, 4-wheel drive. Oh God, Tina's online now. That Bentley went well, bloody fast, but you didn't have any sensation of speed. It sort of it pushed you back into the seat gently, and it went along. It sort of just whooshed along, and you looked down and it's like, shit, we're going that fast. But there was no sensation of how fast you were going, and I thought, even if I had the money, I wouldn't buy one of them. I think I'd stick with what I got, Range Rover. Having said that, I prefer the shape. I prefer the L322 to the new one. What's that? Is that the L4? Oh, I don't know. Lose track. 405 rings a bell, but I don't know if that's right or if that's the Sport. So yeah, I suppose the car I've got is my dream car. It's one I've always liked Range Rovers, and I like that shape, and they're great to drive. And I don't drive fast anymore. I've had fast cars. Rundown of cars I've had. First car, Mark II Escort. 27,000 miles on the clock from new, one owner, because it was my granddad's car. My nan won it on Spot the Ball in 1975. How's that? So one owner from new. That was my first car. Never been serviced in 20 odd years. Same set of spark plugs. Plenty of supermarket dings. Because every time we went to the supermarket, he'd come back and had another dent in it. But yeah, that was my first car. Then I had an MG Metro. Oh, a little pocket rocket that was. Sold that to my brother. Then I had a kit car, Eagle Jeep. I had a 2.1 Ford Pinto engine in it. It was bored out with that with Cortina. It was all Cortina running gear. That was quite good fun. That got nicked. Then I had... the garage I used to work at had a company car. It wasn't a company car, it was a company pickup with their stickers all down the side of it. So it was a mobile advert. That was a Morris Minor pickup. Then I had a XR4i Sierra 2.8 V6. Then I had a Honda, it was a Rover 827. The 2.7 Honda V6 engine in it. That was alright. Didn't hold the road very well. Then what did I have? That's right, I moved to Cambridge. I had a Ford Escort XR3i. Couldn't get it insured for love nor money. They wanted over £1,000 third party only, and that was 1999. So that was a no. I had the car, I gave the car to my dad. So I had a Jaguar. I had a Jaguar XJ40 Sovereign 3.6. Absolutely perfect. One owner from new. He didn't want to sell the car. He bought a new one, which was I think the X300. Are you watching Love Island? No. Love Island. Jesus. No, we haven't actually got TV. We've obviously got a TV, but that's just online Netflix and YouTube. And if we did have telly, I would never watch Love Island. Any of those TV shows, Britain's Got Talent, any of that crap. But if you're a fan, so yeah, I had this Jaguar. He was only selling it because his alarm packed up on his new car, and the bill for fixing that from Marshall's Cambridge was £1,500. So he had to sell his old car to pay the bill. So I bought this Jaguar, absolutely perfect, drove like new. And then someone came over Humpback Bridge on my side of the road and landed on top of it. Wrote that off. Then I had a BMW 525, but it had a 2.7 engine in it for some reason. That used to get through petrol. Then I had an Escort van. Then I had an Audi A4 2.8. And a whole host of other crap cars. And then back onto the Range Rovers. Yeah, I've had some rubbish in my time. What do you think of the Range Rover and LPG? How reliable are they? And what petrol? To be honest, I've never liked gas. If you can't afford to put fuel in it, don't buy it. Simple as that. Having said that, the gas systems on cars nowadays are probably better than they were. Do you need a TV licence in France? The TV licence, is that in the habitation?
Yeah.
Or foncier? We pay two taxes in France. One's a tax foncier, which is on your property. No, it's got to be habitation, because foncier is on the property. Oh yeah, paid the foncier, which is the property and what you could. Basically, they work it out on what you could probably get for rent on the property or blah blah blah. and then you've got tax habitation. One of them, the TV licence is included. It's not a lot. I think tax foncier for this place is 400 and something euros a year. And tax habitation, I'm supposed to be exempt because I'm obviously down as being disabled. There's been a bit of confusion at the moment because they're still trying to charge me. That was only 300 and something a year. And that's basically like your council tax and stuff. What was I saying? Oh, gas. Yeah, when I worked on Toyotas, we had a V8 Land Cruiser come in, and it was running it would run fine when it's cold. And once it got hot, one of the cats used to go cherry red, and it was like, oh. So anyway, we did compression tests and stuff, and we took the head off. And what had happened was that was running on gas. The gas had backfired through the airbox. The airbox had exploded, and it had sucked some plastic down, and a bit of plastic was holding one of the valves open. And so obviously that's what was causing trouble. So we took that piston out, checked that, put it all back together. So I've never been a fan of gas, but a lot of people have got it. Yeah, so it's up to you. Maybe you go for gas or not. But the way I've always seen it, if you can't afford put my teeth back in. If you can't afford the fuel, don't buy the car. Simple as that. Because I don't think they run as nice on gas. They don't feel as powerful. I could be wrong. It could just be me thinking back of the old days. How old are your dogs and what breed are they? Well, Ludo is a Bruno de Jura cross with possibly a Labrador because he sniffs food out from 100 miles, which I know is a bit of a Labrador trait. Where is Ludo? 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 See if we can wake him up. Ludo! Yeah, he can sniff food from... Ludo, come here. Come here, mate. Come on, up here. Up. Hello. Who's that on there? Look, you're on telly, mate.
She won't get up there.
So in March, Ludo will be 8 years old. And he's had enough already. Kira, come here. Come here, Kira. Ludo, watch out, mate. Kira. Kira. Come here. Come here. Kira, up. Up. She don't like jumping up. Come here, up. Come on. Kira. Oh. Yeah, get in the chair then. Kira. Typical woman. Oh. Bloody hell. Oh, here we go. Kira, come on.
There you go.
Oh, come on, you're like an old bloody woman.
What's that? Look, over there.
Kira, up here. Do you know what they say? Don't work with animals and don't work with children.
Waterproof tea bag, girl. Waterproof tea bag. Good boy.
She is a...
Boucheron. Shepherd cross, is it?
a Boucheron crossed with a possibly German Shepherd. They're both Bruno de Jura and a Boucheron are both hunting dogs in France. Ludo was obviously abandoned because he's the biggest fairy going. Any loud noises, he's in here under the table or tail between his legs, wants to get on your lap. And Kira, well, we rescued her from a Dutch couple who just kept her chained up all the time because she used to run off. She's also 8 in March. Ludo's birthday is on the 3rd of March. which is quite convenient because it's the same as mine. And that's also convenient because it's the same as Tina's. That's the dog's done anyway. Yeah, both a couple of numpties. Normally have it after Christmas dinner. Gas. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Brussels sprouts. I do like a Brussels sprout. Kira. No, she's ignoring me now. Bloody dogs. The dog I had when I came out to France was a German Shepherd. And he was my shadow. He used to trip me up every time I went out because he would be there under my feet. When I moved to France, I used to go to work with Dad, and I used to leave him at home with Mum. You know, he was a spot on dog. He was perfect, really. And he used to hear us coming home, and he'd be sat up on the wall, waiting for us. And because they had a dog, they had my sister's dog, a border collie, which was a pain in the neck. It was forever running off. Every time we used to run off, the SPA used to phone up. Oh, we've got your dog. You go and pick him up. That's €40, please. Oh. Do that a couple of times and soon got fed up with that. But yeah, Parker, my German Shepherd, used to spend all day chasing Jock about. Quite funny, really. Probably wasn't for Jock. But yeah, these two are a pair of bum nuggets, really. Bark at anything. But they're as soft as you like. What are your plans for the workshop? Well, hopefully this week we're going to get out there and start digging the floor out so we can get some stone in, some membrane and reinforcing, and get all that sorted out, and see about some concrete. Once I've got the floor concreted, we're going to have a bit of a measure up then and see if I can get a 2-post lift in there. We're a bit limited on space, really. If you imagine it, I've got 2 bays. One bay is where the door is, which slides all the way back. If there's enough room that I can drive the Range Rover in there and the lift, and there's plenty of room to get round it, there'll be enough room for it to go up into the roof. If I have to turn it round, it's going to have to go get it exactly right so that the Range Rover will go up between the beams, and then we're going to have to, if we have to do it the lift the other way around, we've got to put a door in at the other end, which I don't really want to get involved with all that. So hopefully, I can't gauge it, we can measure it, but I want to get the floor concreted and then park the Range Rover in there and see how much room is round it. There's nothing worse than the lift will fit in there and the car will fit in there, but I just don't know if there's going to be enough room to get round it. Because I don't want to be up the side of it like this. But yeah, well, I don't know. We'll get there eventually. So of course we've got a lot of projects to be getting done. Because all my tools are in the barn next to the house. Everything that we're working on is up at the garage and the workshop. So I've got a tray of tools up there with spanners and sockets, but it's not ideal. I need all my tools set up really, and you know, I've got a hydraulic press, drill press, metal cutting bandsaw, MIG welder, all sorts of stuff in there that I need to get up in the workshop. We'll get there. I've got the flower motor fixed again because that's spat out its engine and all that. I think it's it looks like the crankcase is cracked, but it's cheap Chinese rubbish. What do you expect? The gang mower doesn't drive. If it goes backwards, it won't go forwards. So I've got to take that apart because that cuts the grass fantastic. When you get on that, it's got a 7'2" cut on it. You just go up and down a few times and that's nearly the field cut. Obviously you've got to get it cut down first because it won't, because being a gang mower, real mower, it doesn't like long grass. but it'll only go backwards and it won't cut very well going backwards. Do you think Snap-on are worth the extra money? Well, I've got a lot of Snap-on tools, but I've also got a lot of other tools. I think my spanner's a Sykes Pick-A-Vant. I've got all sorts of stuff. Snap-on was handy because if you ever break anything, when the Snap-on van comes round, you just go on there, give him the broken tool, and he'll give you a brand new one. Obviously, with other tools, you break it, you buy a new one, but it reflects in the price. I don't think they're any better quality than yeah, I haven't got any tools, to be honest. Yeah, got some plastic spanners. I've got an adjustable spanner and a hammer and some mole grips. The suspension, you can only adjust it manually if you've got the IID gap tool, which plugs in, and you can adjust the suspension settings. Other than that, it's just the settings on what you've. If it's 2 inch higher at the front than it is at the back, I would say your height sensors are playing up. Well, when I took the car off road down here, and there was obviously a lot of undergrowth and that, and it popped off the little. They got like little plastic ball joints on the height sensors, and it popped it off, and obviously it dropped down. And I got round to it, and the suspension sort of sat funny, and it wouldn't go up and it wouldn't go down. It was messing about. Oh, bloody hell. So one corner was right up in the air and the back was sat right down. No, I haven't got a gap tool. Too much bloody money. Yeah, so I popped the height sensor back on, plugged the iCar soft diagnostics into it, found what it actually said what the fault was, the left hand front height sensor, something or other, I can't remember what it did say now, but I knew that I'd connected it up and it should all be fine, so I cleared the faults and it was fine. The suspension started working properly again. But yeah. As I say, the headlights on our TD6 and obviously on the TDV8 are auto levelling. So, yeah. When you switch them on at night time, you can see them do whatever they're doing, up and down, and then they set then, don't they? And if you put your suspension up and down, they actually move. But yeah. No, I don't have any tools. I've got a hammer, a pair of old grips, adjustable spanner. Nothing in my garage, mate. Governor. Now, I was looking at the IID gap tool. About £500, but it only work on one car, so I'd have to. Somebody suggested you get the Pro one because then I could, because they're locked to the chassis number, and so I'd have to get. It was either that or you buy another license for the second car. When it gets to a point where the iCar soft diagnostics won't tell me what's wrong, as in the headlights at the moment. But having said that, as I said earlier, I've just updated the firmware on the diagnostic machine, so we're going to try it. If the disconnecting the battery doesn't fix it, then I'll try plugging the diagnostics in again. Yeah, they are on all the time. Unless I put it on main beam and the main beam goes off. Sway bar link. Iron Mountain, Tennessee. That's one country I've never been to, America. I haven't been to many countries. I can list them on probably one hand. Obviously, UK, England, born and bred, France, that's where I live. Went to the Maldives once when I was 11, and oh, what a rigmarole to get there. This was back in 1988. We got delayed at Heathrow for 24 hours, so they put us up in a 5-star hotel, which was very nice. So we flew from Heathrow to Dubai, got off, walked around the airport. That was something else, because I'd never been abroad before. They opened the door on the plane, and it was like, whoa, like walking into an oven. Get back on the plane at Dubai. We flew from Dubai to Karachi and had the night in Karachi, which was an experience in itself. Not my sort of idea of a holiday destination whatsoever. And we went the next day, we got back on another plane. We went from Karachi to Sri Lanka. Was it Colombo in Sri Lanka? We then got onto a smaller plane. We went from Colombo in Sri Lanka to Mali, which is the capital island of the Maldives. And then went from there on a boat to the island we were staying on. So I think that takes all the countries that I've ever been in. Anyway, back to Range Rovers. Yeah, I would scrap it if it's a Peugeot and it's making a squeak. It sounds like you've run over a Frenchman and he's shouting, "Let me out." All Peugeots are scrap. Having said that, I'm trying to think. I don't think I've seen any Peugeots around here. They like their Citroens in France. Obviously, they do like Peugeots, but I'm not. All our neighbours. My mate up there's got an old Renault Clio. The farmers have got a Citroen. She's got a Citroen Blinko, and he's got the van version. The farmers. The old boy down the road, he's got a Peugeot 306. There must be poor farmers around here. Old cars like that. Bloody hell. (2003, 2006). Well, back in my day, we're talking the Peugeot 205 1.9 turbo diesel was amazing. And when I first left school, there wasn't many people didn't really have diesels. But there was diesels about. You'd get like a Ford Escort diesel, which would come in absolutely awful cars, gutless, smoky, noisy. And what else? Bloke up the radio, they had an Escort van diesel. I'm trying to think what cars used to have. A Vauxhall Astra 1.6 diesel. Absolutely, couldn't even pull the skin off a rice pudding. And then a woman who used to have horses over the road, she had a Citroen BX 1.9 turbo diesel. Oh my God. Talk about night and day difference to all these Ford rubbish things, but obviously this is back in the day. What was that? So it beeped. Oh. Has it gone flat? It has done. Oh shit. I wonder if the other one will work. Hang on. Let's see if you can. One, two. Am I still live? I've changed cameras. But I don't know if it's working. Let me see if I can get this camera wired up. Yeah, I'm back on, but I'm on the webcam now. It's not quite as good. My battery just went flat on my camera. How bizarre. Yeah, I'm here. Who turned out the lights? Shout Germans. Run. That will shift the French. Haha. Don't take that the wrong way, anyone. The French quite like the Germans. I don't know why. I wonder if this camera's got HDMI on it. Oh, no, what's going on? Oh, perhaps I put the memory card in the wrong way. Does this camera? It's a bit peculiar. Oh. How many miles on your Rover? The TD6, I believe, is about 138,000 miles. The TDV8 is, I believe, 129,000 kilometres. Charles Peugeot. What am I doing here? I want I'll be with you in a minute. I'm just trying to get this other camera. HDMI. Resolution. Auto. No. It wouldn't surprise me. Bloody French. Let's see if that's going to work. Ah, now what am I doing? No, let's bring that back. Yeah, that little girl pointing at the thing with the little doll. To be honest, if I can't get this working, I'll just leave it on the webcam. Oh, it's gone again. No, I might just leave it on the webcam because no, what am I doing? HDMI resolution 1080i. Let's try that. Right, last time. Let me just see if this will work. What's that? Oh, the dehydrator's finished. Ah. Oh. I think we got the camera working. Oh. You have to bear with me a minute. Yeah, let's just put it on webcam. I'll close that one. Hardly any difference. Well, trouble is, it depends on what you're viewing it on. Because although there might not be a lot of different, it looks quite different on the screen on here. I'll switch this off. It's got got a bit of lag in it. Yeah, although there's not a lot of different. There's quite a bit of difference on my screen, quality-wise. Because I like to give you the best quality available. But no, being as that's packed up. Get Tina to come back and hold the camera. She needs the work. Yeah, she's in the other room. Hey? What do you mean I'm enough work? I think that's very rude, Tina. Right, so we're on webcam. Let me tilt the screen back because... oh, blimey. Right. Yeah, I was saying that although the quality might look alright at your end, on my end, when I was... the webcam's nowhere near as good as this other cam. Not to worry. We're up and running again now. Bit rude, bit rude. It's alright. Tina takes it all in her stride. Hey? Yeah. She said she's learnt to. Living with me, I suppose. I don't know what she means by that. Yeah, I forgot where we were. Yeah, talking about diesel, weren't we? Yeah, they've come on a little bit over the years. I mean, that TDV8 is... you wouldn't know it was a diesel. So much power. What in her stride? All the Mickey taking. And she gets plenty of it from me. Hence the reason I call her the Hobbit. Because she's only 4 foot something. Oh, how tall are you? 5'6.5". Oh, 5'6.5". Don't forget the half. Thank you very much. I am 6'3" when I stand up, which isn't very often. But having said that, when I'm sat down, I'm nearly as tall as her. Hence the reason I'm calling her a hobbit. I used to call her a dwarf. But since I've started calling her a hobbit, I think she appreciates it a little bit more. Eh? Yes, more polite apparently, and politically correct. She has got hairy feet. Oh dear, I don't know. What we're going to do? What we're going to do here? Oh God. That ain't too bad, the webcam, to be honest. At least the webcam ain't going to go flat, is it? Who does all the cooking? Well, this is the subject. Who does all the cooking? Tonight was a joint effort. We had beef and ale pie, topped with puff pastry. Tina made the pie, and we had roast potatoes. I did the roast potatoes. But I do special roast potatoes. Yes, very nice and crispy on the outside, nice and fluffy on the inside. We have some specialities when it comes to cooking. Tina does all the Indians, curries and all that kind of thing, which are very nice. I do all the Chinese dishes. Kung Pao chicken, chicken balls, crispy shredded beef, spicy crispy shredded beef, all that kind of thing. I also do some pizzas, which I make from scratch, do all the dough and everything, so that I do that. So yeah, we take it in turns basically with the cooking. Works well, and then some meals we do it together as much as we can. She tends to get in my way, and wherever she moves to in the kitchen, it's in my bloody way, isn't it? But no, yeah. Oh yeah, I bought her a pasta machine for Christmas. She's not the typical woman, Tina. You don't have to buy her jewellery or fancy clothes or anything like that. Buy her something for the kitchen and she's over the moon. We need a Chinese meal menu on the video. Whoa! I'll have to look through my repertoire and see what we've got and see what we can do. The old spicy beef one's quite good. It's not spicy beef, it's crispy chili beef. That's right, yeah. That's quite a nice one. Very nice. What was I saying? Yeah, so buy Tina something for the kitchen or for the house. She's over the moon. So for Christmas I bought her a pasta maker. She loves it. She makes all her own pasta, makes the dough, rolls it out, and I've just bought her a pasta dryer, which is like a stand thing which you turn and all the spikes. So you catch your pasta as you roll it, and you put it through the tagliatelle cutter thing, catch it on a spike, wind it through, catch it, and then you on the thing, put it on the dryer, turn the thing round and pull it out, and they stay on the dryer. French supermarkets, well, they are bloody marvellous. We up the road, our local one is a Super U, so it's Super U. I've never been in it because I hate shopping. I hate it even more in a wheelchair. So Tina goes, but they're generally pretty good. You will get some supermarkets because they're like franchises, aren't they, Tina? Yeah. At our old house in the Charente, there was a local supermarket. It was a franchise. It was Intermarché, and like the vegetables, you would see. We don't have sell-by dates because they're all loose vegetables, but they'd be in a box, and you'd think, I'll be putting that on a compost heap, not trying to sell it in a supermarket. But apparently this super up the road, the veg is, all that fresh stuff is normally pretty good. They don't always have everything in, but there's a lot of English people over here. I mean, I used to know a couple. He was a singer in the band, and they came from Yorkshire. I've got nothing against Yorkshire, but this particular couple were as tight as arseholes. And he was all in for, you're in France, you eat French food, suck it up. She, I do all my shopping at Tesco's because I can save money with the buy one get one frees. But then you're paying someone to deliver it to France, and there's nothing you can't get really. There are things you can't get in France. But most supermarkets have got like an English section. Well, they've got a world section with English, German, or other countries, Asian countries, foods and stuff like that. They are a bit dearer. Like you get a jar of Marmite. Was that about €8? A little jar of Marmite, €8 in the English section. And they used to do Tabasco sauce. This was what I found is quite funny. They had Tabasco sauce bottles in the English section. Say it was €2.50. As you're walking around the rest of the supermarket, they had Tabasco sauce with all the French stuff, and it was like €1.50. So they are crafty, but the price is, because we had an English shop near us, and I used to like the old ginger nuts, and So I used to go into the English shop, get the ginger nuts and a bar of dairy milk, and they used to have a bit of a cafe up there, and we'd have for an English breakfast. But the supermarket started doing the ginger nuts and hobnobs and stuff, and they was actually cheaper than the English shop. But to be honest, don't miss anything. Mum and Dad came back. They went to the UK for Christmas, and they came back and brought me some Scotch eggs, some pork pies. I think that was it. Good to see you, Mick. There's no offence taken on any comments. Pandas are definitely not Range Rovers. They're not better, Tina. And yeah, thanks for coming along for our very first live stream, which has gone on a bit longer than I thought it would do. That's 2.5 hours. Bloody hell. How can I talk so much crap for 2.5 hours? Yeah, so let us know if you want to keep, do it every Sunday. If there's enough call for it. I've got nothing else to do apart from watching crap on telly. So, yeah, it's been quite good answering all these questions. Yeah, so they're not too bad, French supermarkets. You can't get Paxo stuffing. So that's one thing that we're brought over from the UK. I'll do like a bit of stuffing on my roast dinner. What's going on with my hair? Oh dear. Oh, hello, Ludo. Right, mate. Oh, he's got himself settled. It'll be bedtime in a minute. Yeah, I'll say we can make it a bit of a thing Sunday nights if gets plenty of people watching. We'll find something to talk about. Random nonsense. What do you mean I'm good at that? Well, I've managed it for 2.5 hours. God, she keeps butting in. I didn't realise she could hear that. I'll have to whisper a bit quieter. Can you? Christ. Bat ears. Yeah. Well, we've had quite a few people on tonight. Well, it has, yeah. I didn't quite know how to go. I put out a community post. It might have been yesterday or the day before, so I didn't give people a lot of notice. He's still going on, Tina.
What?
Pandas are random nonsense.
Who's that?
Aaron with a Range Rover Westminster.
Oh.
Yeah, they are nonsense, really. They're like a little roller skate. She still thinks it's going to beat the Range Rover when we do this comparison video. It'll be quite a laugh, I think. She wants to go around the track before filming for a bit of practice. Oh, no, but neither am I. So we might get that done this week, weather permitting, because it has been a bit rubbish. Yeah, there's a bit of it on the old. Do a road trip in the TDV8. Could do. Don't know where we'd go. Suppose we could go anywhere. We're in Europe, aren't we? Hey? There and back again. We'll do a road trip to Mum and Dad's house. Only 40 minutes up the road. Yeah, we don't really go anywhere. That's the thing. I don't really know why we got that car then. Now, we ought to go for a bit of a run in it. stretch its legs. Yeah, we went and picked the Panda up. It had a bit of a run down the motorway, cleared it out a little bit. Yeah, because around here it's just all 80-kilometre speed limits. So you get on the motorway, 130, lovely kilometres that is, which is about 82 miles an hour, I think. Just watch out for the old cameras, because I keep getting caught by bloody cameras. I've got one in the Range Rover P38. We were staying at Mum and Dad's when they lived in Jerez. They went back to the UK for 5 weeks, so we stayed at their house. I got a ticket in the what do they call it? Is it a P38 Range Rover, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, shit for brains. Anyway, yeah, I got caught doing 109 in a 90. Luckily, it was 1 point and €45 fine. Then I got a speeding ticket in the transit van a year after we sold it. So he obviously hadn't registered it. So I managed to get out of that one. Tina then got a speeding ticket in the TD6 last April. But, so I took that one for her. And then I got a speeding ticket the other about October time, wasn't it? 87 in an 80. I mean, come on, a bloody Range Rover. You don't even know you're going that fast. Well, it wasn't fast, is it? 87. What's that? 50-something miles an hour. And the ticket tells you exactly where you got caught speeding and what day and what time, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, where the bloody hell was that then? I thought, I didn't see any cameras. I had Mum and Dad in the car, Tina. We'd been out for lunch at Limoges, and I don't know. Anyway, my cousin was over here house hunting, and I was driving him. He came over on his motorbike. You might see the video of the Yamaha Tenere. That was his. Anyway, because the weather was crap the week he was here, I was driving him around in the Range Rover. We went down that road, and if you see the size of this bloody camera, how I missed it, I do not know. It is huge. It stands up bloody 15 foot in the air. I don't know how I missed that one. Anyway, that was another point, €45 fine. So I don't know how many points I've got, because you start off with 12 over here and they take them off you. But I've got the old-fashioned French driving licence, which is the paper one, which never runs out. And I don't have to change it, apparently. Yeah, no chance of a speeding ticket in the Panda. If you ever got up to the speed limit in the Panda, you would be living life dangerously.
You would rattle yourself apart.
You'd be like a donkey on the edge. Yeah, you'd have no fillings left. Having said that, she was doing about 120 up the motorway, following me when we brought it home.
Picking up speed going uphill.
Oh, yeah, she keeps that. It was picking up speed going uphill. Using my slipstream.
Rubbish. Because the wiper wasn't working.
Hey?
So I couldn't see it bloody thing because the wiper.
Oh, yeah, it was pissing hard with rain, and the wiper blade wasn't doing a very good job. So she couldn't see where she was going. That's another. Yeah, well, we've got some new wiper blades, but the wiper blade on the back is too big, and it got caught on the rubber, the window rubber, and she had it switched on all the way home. I think the bloke switched it on when he was showing her all the switches, because I saw it actually move and stop when I was sat in the Range Rover while she was going around the car, and I didn't think much of it. When we got home, I said, try all the switches and this, that, now, and I opened the boot. The wiper motor was red hot, and obviously it got stuck and just burnt out. So, new wiper motor for the back. But I always say you only need to see where you're going. You don't need to see where you've been. which is why I never fixed the wiper motor or the wipers on the Range Rover for a good 6 months, was it?
Well, I did all the drives backwards and forwards while we were moving without it.
Yeah, so about 6 months that wasn't working, and when we actually got around to doing it, just plugged it back in and it was all working. Whoops. Oh dear. Blimey. What's that? It won't be long. What time's my curfew? Yeah, we don't. We don't go to bed that early.
No, it's not about half 11.
Yeah. Normally about 11:30, midnight. We was at the old house. We had obviously the Sky TVs all rigged up, and used because obviously in France we're an hour in front. We was always an hour. The most good films come on at 9 o'clock UK time, so that's 10 o'clock French time. So the time you've watched a film, it's midnight. It'd be gone midnight, 1 o'clock time you're getting into bed. But now we haven't got the TV. Well, we've got all the boxes still, but don't miss it. Load of rubbish. Yeah, we've got Netflix, got YouTube. I normally most nights sit on YouTube and just go through watching the general rubbish on there. Who do I normally watch? I used to have a few people I watch, like farmers and homesteaders, but I've gone off them now, really. I don't know. I watch Harry's Garage and Harry's Farm. Stony Ridge Farmer, but he gets a bit annoying sometimes. He's just always promoting products and trying to sell stuff. I used to watch Wrangler Star, but he's just bloody Mr. Amazon now. I started watching, I don't know why, the Grand Tour. No, I went right off them three. I used to watch Top Gear a few years ago. When they started doing like the specials and that, I sort of, they were alright. But it's just the same old thing over and over again, really. And no, I don't know what it is really. They're all right. It's just same old. No chance of speeding ticket in the Panda. Who else do I watch on YouTube? Just random stuff, really. I can't even think now. I spend all night going through it, flicking. No, I don't know. Well, I reckon it's 10 to 11. I've eventually got this stream going at 8 o'clock, obviously 7 o'clock UK time, so it's 10 to 10 in the UK. I might be calling it a night. That says, actually, I've been live for 2 hours and 49 minutes. Is that right?
Yeah, that'd be right.
Flippin' heck. I thought I was only going to be on for half hour. Yeah, it's been good. It's nice interacting with people, answering questions. Yeah, but Tina, we take the mickey out of you even if we're not live streaming. So, yeah, I'll probably do another live stream next Sunday, about the same time, 7 o'clock GMT. We're GMT +1. I'll put a community post. Yeah, we'll see you. I'll do another stream next week and see you then, hopefully. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a night now. It's getting late. My voice is... Well, no, not my voice. My mouth is going dry. So, yeah, I'm going to call it a night. I'll put a community post out saying that I'm going to do a live stream next Sunday. If there's any questions or anything you want to talk about or whatever, I'll put it in the community post and you can comment, or you can come back on next week and we'll start all over again. So yes, thank you all very much for coming along. It says there's 8 of you at the moment watching. And we'll be back on Sunday. Hopefully there'll be some videos coming out during the week if I can get outside and do some stuff. But yeah, so I'm going to sign off and we'll catch you all next week. Bye for now. End stream.